Um, so I wasn't really ever thinking that this would be one of the kinds of videos I'd make, especially as late as it is at night. But I mean, sometimes I just really don't have a choice, especially when there's nobody to talk to, and when I should be in bed. But sometimes your days just don't end good, and you need to just think aloud. Playing some Minecraft. So I mean, what better way to do so than recording my thoughts and just uploading them? I'm gonna basically just be talking about um a lot of different things I think about every now and then, like music stuff, what I'm gonna do with my future, you know, the kinds of things everybody my age thinks about. Um, you know, I've never really been the kind of guy to think a whole lot about what I want to do with my future, because it's just kind of hard to decide. I think, I do this music stuff now, but I mean, a lot of the times I've always asked myself, oh, what if it just doesn't work out for me? And it's like, well, all right then. I mean, then if it doesn't work out, I'll just end up working a normal job like anybody would. But I see a lot of, my analytics on YouTube and stuff, and I mean, not that it's anything super impressive, but I mean, for the kind of guy that I am, for what I do and how much time I spend on it, it really impresses me a lot, honestly, that I've been able to get this far with what I do, and you know, I mean, it makes me happy to see that a lot of people end up enjoying my, music and stuff, albeit, you know, I'm not the central cause as to why the Notepad Santa Claus 2 OST is doing so well. It's mostly because people who played the game want to listen to the OST and whatnot. I mean, maybe it could be the reason why a lot of people actually get into the game. But if I'm not, I mean, I could probably, care less. Because I mean, I'm not that much of I'm not that kind of guy who's like, oh, I want to be something big one day. I've never really been that kind of type, but you know, the more often I see myself doing well on this platform, and the more often I see myself just, I mean, kind of succeeding in a way, I guess you could say. I'm kind of like, what if I did invest into this? And it's like, well, if I did, maybe I could get far with it. But the same token, I mean, I'm not really sure. I mean, in terms of gaming, I'm not that great at games. There's a lot of flaws that I have with every game I play, and I kind of got a short temper with a lot of the stuff I do. I mean, I can get short tempered if it comes to Phantom Forces or Minecraft PvP or really anything. Honestly, I don't have a whole lot of games that I'm necessarily good at per se, and I try to think like maybe one day I'll have something I'm good at, but you know I just don't think that day will ever come. Really, I mean, I'm decent at Risk of Rain, I'm decent at Minecraft PvP, I'm all right at Terraria, I guess, but that's just because those are all really grindy games, and you know I kind of got the most botched setup ever. I mean, my live streams have been doing kind of well recently, but it's usually only one guy ever chats, and then I got a couple of people who come and stay for a bit and leave, and I think it just kind of makes me feel like I'm a boring person. I don't think anybody's impressed by me. I mean, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I mean, I have to assume probably not, because if I was more interested, people would be watching my streams a lot more and they'd be watching my other different videos. But it's mostly the Notepad Santa Claus 2 stuff that does the best from what I've seen, because it's an OST for a Roblox game, and people are like, oh yeah, it's the game with the funny Void Star man with the Maryland shirt, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's fair, but I like to think to myself a lot more now, like, what if those people who ended up seeing the OST like subscribed more? I mean, you know, what if they bothered to subscribe to me and like, be like, oh, I wonder what else this guy has in store. I see that he uploads both music and normal videos. It's like, well, I mean, maybe, maybe, maybe that would happen someday, someday. But I can't assume I'd really ever get. I don't think I'd ever be popular because because of the fact that that I end up being an interesting person. It's just because of the fact that I make music. I mean, you know, compared to the Mugen like OSD stuff or just anything Roblox OSD related, honestly, it's kind of like that does the best out of really anything. You know, it's like I don't know. It's hard to describe, and I'm losing my words as we speak, honestly. But I try to I try to be interesting when I stream or make videos or really do anything, and there's a lot of worry that I have when it comes to that kind of stuff. Because then it's like, well, if I don't end up being interesting enough and I really want to get into this stuff, I mean, well then what do I do? And it's like, well, if I got nowhere to go, then I got nowhere to go. I mean, I kind of just have to find something else to do with my life. But I feel like I've gotten very far invested into this to kind of just leave it here. I mean, I can't imagine, just dropping everything just for the most normal job ever that any other civilian could have would be a good idea. I mean, I have to do that anyways because I'm getting to be 17 and I have to have some kind of a job at least. And if I don't, well, I mean, I'm not gonna be an upstanding citizen. Respectfully, I don't think I'll have anywhere to really go. And as much as I'd want to make money from doing YouTube, it's just I don't think that ever be the case. I mean, what I'm trying right now is I'm trying another Minecraft SMP stream thing because I feel like that could be kind of interesting. To do like a lore based SMP with a lot of grinding and just normal streams, hangout streams. It just feels like a fun thing, and some of the streams do okay. The longer I stream, the more people seem to end up watching it. But you know, I mean, it's less likely. Wow, this guy is destroying me. Holy! It's less likely that my videos will ever really do well or my streams because I don't think. Again, I don't think I'm a very interesting guy. Really, I don't think I'm good at being somebody who's somebody humorous or somebody easy to laugh at or you know somebody just didn't I just fight this guy? Somebody like somebody like one of the one of the top people, like somebody very charismatic and just fun to watch every now and then, and even if they're no longer on the platform for whatever reasons. I mean, you know I have to assume like I'm just not one of those kinds of people, and I don't know if it's in part due to my skill at games. I don't know if it's in part to do just me being a not interesting person because I might just act like every other YouTuber. It's like, okay, well, this guy's trying to get somewhere, but I'm just not interested. Or maybe it could just be times have changed and I haven't followed them, and I guess it just makes me feel irrelevant, or I'm just too small of a YouTuber. I mean, there's no telling really. There is no telling. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if it's because I upload too little or upload too less. I don't know if it's because I don't have any good editing software. I mean, it could be a number of things, but maybe maybe it could just be a number of things. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it matters. And I'm not really sure if it's like if it's a thing that I'll ever really be able to fix or not. I mean, really, you know. Sorry, I locked in quite a bit there, but it's just I try my best, frankly. I frankly try the best that I can because it's hard. It's hard to think of ideas when you're so limited to the world around you when you don't have a lot of money, and it's just you need a lot, honestly. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot of work to do something like YouTube because you got to just have the right audience. If you don't have the right audience, well, I mean, it's not gonna really make that big of a difference when it comes to it, when it comes down to it eventually. I mean, you know, unfortunately. And maybe, I mean, maybe someday that'll change. Maybe one day randomly, so the right group of people starts to find me, and then I get noticed more, and then maybe I will maybe I will be successful. But it's like I don't know if that will ever truly be the case with me, because I mean, again, I don't think I'm that interesting of a person to really care about all that much. And it's like, well, if I'm not interesting, then I really don't know what I'm gonna do in that regard. You know, people need to think that I'm interesting enough to watch, and if they don't, I mean, I really don't know what I'm gonna be able to do from there. Because I mean, I could try to really get into it, but I just don't think that would be the case for me really ever, frankly. Well, I mean, no, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought so much. This game is distracting me, but like I try to be unique and stuff, but it's like I try to get into it. Really, I do. I try my hardest to get into it, but I mean, it's so hard. It's so hard. You know, like I feel like if a lot of people really did just get interested enough in me to subscribe to my channel after seeing stuff like my OSTs and my music that I make or some of my streams. Like I feel like if people were just interested enough in me, then maybe. maybe that would be maybe it would change a whole lot of stuff. Um, but it doesn't really seem to be the case, and I'm kind of just sitting here every now and then, probably being a bit unhealthy, just sitting around all day streaming, trying to see if anybody joins and subscribes. I mean, I mean, in my recent streams, I've tried to seem more, all excited and stuff about a lot of the different things going on, but it hasn't really gone down to plan there, and that's just the unfortunate part about it is that, and you know I could I could try to get better at PvP in different games. I could try to get good at a new game and or try to get into a new game that maybe like a new Roblox game that just released and get good at that. But I think that's just so boring to me, honestly. That's what everybody does. Everybody does that kind of stuff where it's like, you know, they get good at a certain thing and then people watch them for that, and that's what they become known for. And it's like, you know, for me, that just so happens to be music, but you know, nobody really subscribes to me. They just watch the music and then they just they come back every once in a while. But you know, I mean, it isn't to say that I didn't gain any subscribers. I did not gain any subscribers from the OSC. I'm not saying that. I mean, I gained quite a few actually. But you know, it kind of just doesn't really help me think that I'll do good when I get something as crazy as you know like 2K views and still growing and just nobody subscribes to me, and it kind of, I can't say it hurts my feelings. It's the choice of the viewer to want to subscribe. Honestly, that's the whole point of it. Really, is do you like this guy enough to want to watch him more? And if you don't, then well, you don't have to do so. But at the same token, it's like, well, what if you did? You get updates on a lot of stuff, and you could, you'd see more of what this guy is doing, because you clearly seem interested enough to click on one of their videos. Why don't you want to watch more? And again, it's just the choice of the person who is, viewing the content. Really, it's mainly their choice. You know, and for me, for me, I'm different like that though. It's like I often end up watching a lot of what I see on the internet. Like I often end up watching a lot of different people because they're such interesting people, and it's like, I think you're worth my time. I want to support you. I want to help you to grow, and I mean, it makes me feel better, supporting somebody who's genuinely interesting and fun to watch. You know, but I mean, at the same token, what would it really change? I mean, like even if I were to do that, that isn't to say that wouldn't happen with me. But then again, I don't think like you know, I just don't think I'll ever get there. I mean, at least not right now. Maybe if I have a better setup one day, maybe if I learn more about video editing, maybe if I get the actual paid version of FL and I don't have to bug ROMs or just send me back my FLPs. I mean, maybe something might become different, and maybe it's like, okay, well, now I'm actually starting to get somewhere, because again, people would maybe start viewing me, but who knows, man. I bet my stats on the server are terrible. I have to know. Hold on. It doesn't matter, actually. You know, the reason why I didn't do like I'm not doing like a lifesteal SMP kind of thing, it's like everybody does that. I mean, that's not the most interesting thing that I've seen from, a lot of YouTubers. Like lifesteal kind of stuff is so boring. Like in my opinion, it just doesn't it just gets super not entertaining after a while, honestly. It's kind of just like, oh, there's somebody who wishes to grow to power and they get a lot of hearts, and then, oh, okay, well, now a bunch of anarchy has happened. It's like, okay, well, that's fun, but it's just not my kind of thing to do that. It's more so like I want to have a fun friend server, and that's what I'm doing right now with Truth and Ideals. But it's so hard, especially when a lot of friends over time, depending on my history with Minecraft servers, it's like, well, now it's just kind of different because like there could have been people from past servers who had issues with one another, and then just kind of just becomes a whole issue from there, and then well, now you just have a whole big deal there, and it's like one friend's getting mad over another. The actual main events of the server on the live stream haven't started because that's kind of what happened today, and I mean even then it's been happening on streams where people are getting upsetty spaghetti at each other, and it's making me upset. I mean I can't control other people's actions, by all means. It's out of my control. It's hard to control what happens, especially when you're taking on such a big role as being a server owner and trying to keep, some form of balance. But I mean, if you can't, you can't, and that's just how it's going to end up being. I mean, it happens with me a lot when I try to run servers. I mean, I make a set of rules, people don't end up following them, or at least rarely, and then it's just kind of a whole situation from there, and it kind of sucks, and I wish it wouldn't be that way sometimes, but unfortunately, sometimes it is, and it's frustrating because then somebody quits, and then when they quit, you're like, okay, well now I feel bad, you know, I feel bad for that. I wish, maybe it could have been different, but it wasn't different, and you know, now it just feels like everything will end up turning out to be a mess, no matter how many people remain to be on, and it doesn't help when a lot of the friends you want to have together on the server don't want to stick together, that they end up separating from each other, and it's kind of just sad feeling, to be honest, because then you spend so long at a village building all this stuff, and then everybody just leaves. They just leave it behind, and they just don't care, and it's like, well, what was the whole point of it? That point of that? I mean, we made all these memories, and for what? You're just gonna leave and go somewhere else, and then just let the server die after you do that? I get that's always been the whole point of an SMP, but I want this to feel like more than just a basic Minecraft friend server, because I'm doing all these interesting things, all these interesting projects, because it's my passion. It's my passion to show people what I want to create. It always has been. I have always had so many creative ideas that I've gotten inspiration from, you know, a lot of different areas, and it's like, no matter how good I am at a certain game or really anything, I mean, I want to show the world what I have to offer while I'm still here. Because if I can't do that, then I kind of just feel like I wasted my purpose in this world. You know, it doesn't help when I run out of ideas so much for a lot of different things. I honestly do, especially when it comes to music. I mean, I get so drained and just tired of thinking and thinking, what do I want to do next? And, when I actually get an idea of something I want to do, then it's like, okay, well, now that I've gotten that idea, I'm like in school or something, and then I just lose the idea as soon as I get home because I'm too tired from school to want to try and go with that idea, that I thought of. And it doesn't help the fact that I'm tone deaf. Like I'm not even kidding when I say this. I hear so many different melodies in my head. Like I'm always thinking, like, what's the next big song that I want to make? What's the next what's the next thing that I want to create? What's the next thing that I want to have the world hear? And, when I finally get that, I'm always in a spot where I'm not gonna be able to remember what I thought of, and it makes me so upset because I've had so many good ideas for music and I just lose them. I lose them. They just get taken from me, man. You know, the world always moves so fast. It always gets so busy, and then I lose all the idea and motivation that I have, and you know, it makes me really just sad to see how that ends up turning out, and you know, I wish it could be different, honestly. I really wish it could be, because I don't want to feel like I can't make things that I want to make because of that. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm always stuck just getting ideas and then losing them after a while. Really, I don't want to feel like I'm always just getting things that people would want to see and then just kind of, you know, just kind of losing them. Um, it's hard to want to really continue what I do sometimes, especially, you know, especially knowing like a lot of just the a lot of the ways that things unfold for me. Like I've tried, sorry, I just got so distracted. Yeah, yeah, I just gotta okay, anyway, sorry about that. I have nothing to do with that. Anyways, um I don't know what I want to do for my future, honestly. I don't know where I'll go from here, and I don't know how much longer this will go. What I was saying was like, this is gonna be completely raw. I don't have the time to edit this right now. I'm sorry. So you'll just have really long moments of me pausing. I was just reading something, but you know, there will be moments where I'm just so exhausted from everything and everything that I do, whether it be school, working on getting my driver's license, working on games and music. I will just be tired and I just won't want to do it because I get so many ideas and I just lose them. And it just makes me think, I don't feel like I have the support I really need sometimes, honestly. I don't feel like, there's people who really do care about like me as a person, and what I have to offer to the world. And I don't think like I'm not saying like, oh, nobody really cares about me, I'm all lonely and depressed. I'm not saying that. I just feel like people really don't acknowledge me for me, and rather just acknowledge me for, when's the next song coming out for Notepad Santa Claus 2 or whatever other ROMs or projects that are coming out soon. Like that that's just sort of how it's just sort of how it feels. And I wish maybe it would be different. Maybe, maybe it could be, a different story. Maybe it could be like anything really. I don't think I'm not impressive. I mean, I'm not prideful. I'm not like not prideful with what I do. Wow, that sucks. I'm not prideful with what I do, but I'm more so just kind of like, I wish things could just be better every now and then. I wish for me, I get the support that I need from family and friends, and I wish I get more feedback from them. And I mean, whatever I have, sometimes it just hasn't felt very supportive, or it just hasn't felt supportive enough. And it's like, I don't get to talk to you guys often, really. And when I do, I'd like to hear what you have to say about what I'm making. The art that I'm trying to create. It's like, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. I know it doesn't fit everyone's taste, but like, you gotta at least like try to just tell me like, yeah, this is good. It's not my sort of thing, but it's good. You know, because then it just kind of hurts my feelings when I'm told like, oh, this is just kind of, bad. It's just kind of, it's not really made for. I don't think people will like this all that much. I mean, like, that's valid criticism maybe, but it doesn't. It's not. It doesn't feel valid really. It kind of just feels like you're saying you don't care and you just want me to do something else that fits your taste better than what I actually want to do. And I don't want to do that. And it's just, I don't think that's something I'd want to do. I want to do I want to make what I want to make. I want to make the ideas that I've had in my head for a while. I want to see these things that I've you know cooked up in an elaborate concoction in my mind come to life. I want to see life like breathe into them, because I think it'd be so awesome to just see a story, or like a certain song or game get created from a concept that I had, and me to be the one to like direct it and help work on it, whether it be music or like modeling or writing the story, something like that. And this could be anything. It could be a book, like like a short film, possibly even a film or some kind of show. Like anything of this nature, anything to just an idea that I can bring more life into with my musical ability and get support for, and have people get inspired by my own ideas. I mean, it it would feel, it would make me feel happier. And I wish, the people I want to bring along with the ride would, maybe be a bit more open-minded to it. Honestly, I get not I mean I get it. Again, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but you know if I feel like people don't treat the things that I do, or treat the ideas that I want to make seriously enough. Like, I think people just kind of brush them aside and don't care, and it kind of makes me feel just insignificant. I mean, I don't know what else to say, really. I'd want my ideas to be heard and seen by somebody who genuinely cares, who genuinely is like, yeah, let's do it, let's get it done. I want to see this just as much as you do. But I don't ever foresee that happening. Like, you know, I used to have somebody like that, I mean, we were both like that all the time, me and D8. I talk about him a lot, but I don't get to ever see him anymore because he's always with his partner, and it's like, I get that sort of thing, but, you know, like, man, come on, come and, stay a while every once in a while. Take your shoes off and sit down and, let's do something. Let's do something fun. I mean, anything. Make a new concept. Just hang out. Really anything. But what I mostly have wanted to do with him is a project like Truth and Ideals. You know, because me and him both love this sort of kind of thing, and it's like, if we were to do this together and have it like turn out good, and people start catching on to it, and like, yeah, this is kind of good. It would mean the world to me to see that. Really, I'm not kidding. Like, it would mean the world to see, you know, to just see people care about something I want to show the world to. Something that I've had an idea for a long time that I just want the world to see. Because there's so much. There are so many things that I want everybody that I know and everybody that I want to know to see. There's so many different ideas that I've just had, and it breaks my heart feeling like I don't know if I will ever be able to have that sort of reality where I can show somebody or show a select few people something that I am passionate about. I don't know when that ever, you know, will happen. And, you know, every single time I've started in SMP like this, we don't even actually get to the fun lore stuff before it just burns crashing down because of drama, and it hurts a lot to see that happen. I never get to see the things I want to see because people just end up fighting with each other, and then it just separates the friend group for a bit, and it just hurts. It breaks my heart. It really does. And I just witnessed what just happened just now, and I wasn't really paying attention to Minecraft chat, but it's the sort of kind of thing. And I know they're going to be watching this, and no matter how many times I ask for people to just calm down and relax and try to collect themselves, because I want people to experience this together, and I want these memories to be held. It's not going to happen. And it's just gonna crash and burn like everything that I've ever wanted to see do well has, aside from my music. That's the only thing I feel has ever done well. But even then, those who view my songs, they don't really stick around for you know the encore and everything that I also have to offer aside from my music. I mean, I don't even think a lot of the people who've seen the Notepad Santa Claus 2 OST have like, really. I don't think they've seen like the best of She UST. I don't think they've seen Truth and Ideals. I don't think they've seen like everything else I've had to offer. They've only seen just those songs, and I'm glad. I'm really glad that it makes me happy seeing how successful it's been. But at the same token, I want people to see more than just that. I have so much that I want people to just enjoy out of me while I'm still here on this earth. Because if I'm being honest, I haven't really treated myself healthy the most of my life. I've been pretty lazy. I don't eat the greatest, and you know, I try to manage that the best that I can, but it's hard. Eating healthy costs a lot of money. It requires a lot of restraint and a lot of just holding back on eating some of your like you gotta hold back on eating a cheeseburger, man. I mean, come on, that's like the hardest thing in the world to do. Like if I can't eat spaghetti, I'm gonna just get upset. Like I love pasta. It's such an amazing food, and one day I'll learn, the importance of eating healthy and trying to just take care of myself. But I mean, it doesn't say that I practice hygiene. I mean, I practice hygiene. I shower. I try to exercise every now and then, but I don't think I do it enough, honestly. I sit around way too much, and I really only get out in the summer, but I live in the north, and the weather's really bad in the north, and it's kind of, even if I went to the gym, I'd have to walk into the gym. It's cold out, but I should probably start investing into that, honestly. My time could be spent elsewhere and should be spent elsewhere every once in a while. You know, I don't not realize that too. I mean, I spend a lot of time on school, with the whole job shadow thing I've mentioned on stream, though, that's been a bit of a pain. It's mostly just because I've been looking for people who do music, but my teacher said he'd help me out with that. So, you know, shout out to my teacher for that one. Really chill guy. A bit imposing of a guy. He's very sociable. He talks to a lot of people, but I mean, once you get to know teachers, I gotta say this random thing. Once you get to know your teachers, man, for actually who they are the most nicest people you could possibly ever meet. Like some of them could be annoying, sure, but like give them a chance. They have their own stories. They've been in your school. I'm pretty sure they'd get some of the things you feel. As long as they're chill teachers. I mean, I have a whole lot of chill teachers. They get it, and I know that they get it. But you know, I have a friend too. I want to make mention of him because he doesn't get talked about a lot, and anybody who watches this video this far, and I hope you do. I really hope you do. Please go check him out. His name is AntonioAttack, I think. I'll link his channel in the description just because I feel like it. But his name's AntonioAttack. He does kind of the similar thing like me, and I think he's got that kind of same mindset that I have, where it's like he does all these things right, and he wants people to notice him for it because he spends a lot of time working on it. He spends a lot of time writing his stuff. I mean, I've seen it, and it's like, you know, I've seen all the stuff that he does, and it's like, man, this is super impressive. This seems awesome. It's kind of why I invited him to my SMP because he has so much potential, and like I'd love to have him here. He's such a cool guy. He has a lot of cool things. Having somebody like that in my server with such a creative mindset. I mean, you know, that would make me so happy to just see somebody just as passionate as me for that sort of thing. To like have all these ideas and want to see them in motion and be like, I want to get it done. I want to see it. I want to feel it like in real time. Like like he really does feel like that kind of guy. But the issue is, I don't think a whole lot of people see what he does, and it just kind of, I think it kills his motivation. And I feel bad for the guy because I've been there and I'm still there. Really, I still feel like I am there because I spend so many times on what so many times I spend so much time on like what I'm doing right now, and I really just want support from like my peers, my mother, my brother. I mean, I know my brother supports me. I don't think he's talked to me a whole lot, but well, no, he hasn't talked to me a whole lot recently. I did talk to him recently, but you know, um, it's sort of just he's hard to get a hold of. He works a lot, and it's kind of just I know he supports me, but he works a lot, and he's hard to talk to every now and then because of that. Because I don't want to know. Oh no, sorry, Jesus, Chad. Oh, sorry. Chad has ruined my speech. Anyways, I'll end up blurring my chat there. Don't worry. I will slightly edit this video maybe. Uh, but anyways, it's like sorry for me just running around. By the way, I don't feel like building since I'm talking, so I'm just kind of admiring things. Anyways, I mean I just wish I could get support from a lot of people that I talk to and a lot of people that I know, especially considering something that just happened to me recently. I didn't want to bring mention to it, but I might as well. I lost I'm not gonna say who, but I lost a family member recently. And it was one who I talked to actually a few times, and he's quite the encouraging and charismatic guy. Honestly, I spent a lot of my younger years over at said family member's house, and it's been tough on my mother, and I'm seeing it, and I'm trying to be there for her, but it's hard to know what she wants. I mean, she's so much older than me, and I'm so much younger. I don't really have a whole lot of experience with. I mean, I do. I've lost family members quite a bit. I mean, one of them that I most remember, I don't want to talk about, but I have a story to me, and I've never really made it public. I don't think on streams or in videos, but you know, it's sort of why I am the way that I am. You know, but that loss, it kind of just it drags my heart through the mud more than it already has been in this whole year. You know, 2025 was quite the trip for me. I don't really want to talk about why, but it was quite the experience. I had to go through a whole lot of new things that I didn't think I'd ever have to go through because I was so carefree and blissfully ignorant that I didn't realize I was being not the kind of person that I should have been, frankly. I've had moments where I've just been not, I'm just not a very upstanding seeming guy, you know, and I can't always pin the blame on my life. I mean, I should pin the blame on me, I mean, prior me, past me, refusing to try and get better and just be like, maybe this isn't a way that I should live. Because if I live this way, then people will kind of just be like, oh, well, this guy is just being stupid and, he needs to fix his act. But, I eventually realize that and I try my best to. And, this today was the first time where I really gotten just angry, honestly. It's sort of the whole reason why I'm making this video. I'm just thinking aloud to myself. I don't have any encouraging words to say because I don't know if I'm an encouraging guy. Like I mentioned, I don't really feel like I'm all that charismatic. People say I'm wise. I don't really know how true that is. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. There's no telling. I mean, all I know is that I'm me. I will forever continue to be me. And I don't think that will ever really change. I mean, I'll change as a person, don't get me wrong. I mean, my voice might change, you know. A whole number of things could happen, honestly, but I don't know. I don't know where it will start, and I don't know when it will start. But I think I'm gonna just stop recording for now and sort of just upload this and see how it's received. I'll probably title it something stupid like stuff about Notepad Santa Claus 2 and other things regarding projects, but uh, please subscribe to me. You know, if you came from the Dignity video, please support me. You know, I could do with, you know, more people wanting to see my projects. You know, I really need it right now because, you know, again, I just don't feel like I get enough support, and I don't feel like a lot of people treat these things seriously. But, you know, maybe maybe that will change after this video. Maybe if I make more videos like this, it might change. I don't know. But I'll see you guys around. Man, this is 50. I've been here for an hour. This is 50 minutes. Uh, Sorry if I'm kind of all over the place in this video. I watched Iron Lung with Gibbous, so that was cool today. I wanted to make mention of that. But yeah, sub to me, sub to Antonio Attack. I'll link him in the description. And that's about it. See ya.